place, there is more interest in economics of a certain place. That's what I'm trying to...
That's always true. And it's also a pattern in the elections.
Okay.
The comfortable often stay away. They will come in. Maybe they've flown out. Maybe they've taken a holiday. Maybe they are waiting, they are having a family breakfast. It's an opportunity to have a family breakfast today. And they'll come in
especially without the internet.
They'll come in at 10.
Destruction of the internet.
But if you went to Kawempe, and I just did a call before I came in because I didn't know what you would ask. So I did a call. I asked someone in Kawempe, what does it look like? And in my language, they said, in effect saying, we are there. I don't know the direct translation of that. And someone also in Natete told me,
mic drop.
Yes. Now, instead of coming up here, I drove down Kamocha, then did a detour of Kololo. Boy, it felt like a harsh, peaceful holiday. I drive through Kololo almost every day because of work, but now Kololo was dead quiet. I saw 2 polling stations only in Kololo, and one of them was not, I think it had a policeman and I want to assume an electoral commission official. So is it about coming late? No. Okay. It's about interest.
That's a very interesting one. It's now the line between the comfortable and the uncomfortable. Very interesting one. Enoch, there seems to be this narrative that has been coming through during the campaign period that there is an apathy and that people, some even, I heard on a radio station while coming here, some radio presenters saying, what should we look forward to when we know where this will end? Is there an apathy? But I know that where you are housed, there was a deliberate last mile to get voters onto the ballot places, the polling stations. But even in serious democracies, the number of people interested in elections, I tend to follow American elections, and I'm not so sure they have any voter turn up anywhere near the 70s and 80s. Is it a thing that is real from where you have been watching things, that voter apathy is more than a narrative and a hypothesis, but it is real? There are people who are not excited to vote. Because the only time I voted in 1996, there was a lot of interest in going to the polls. Chibazo's face there. Peter, I am here. Voting is going on.
No, yes. I vote every time since 1996.
Yes, I can't say.
Samson, I think what is true and what is factual is that if we call it voter apathy or low turnout of voters has been persistent over time. As you have mentioned, I think the best attended maybe election was 1996, maybe because it was the first election after a long time. Now,
the four of us here would never know about 1980.
I am not too sure. I am not too sure what the reasons are, but I am happy to take Peter's version of interpretation, that maybe it points to the comfort of people. But also, I think sometimes people just don't put in that much effort in very many things. And I don't want to say it is a Ugandan thing. I don't want to generalize and ascribe maybe bad manners to everybody, but there is sometimes little attention to things. I know somebody who is always complaining about little attention to detail, Timothy Bukumune, but that tends to happen, and people do their own things, and they don't treat certain things as very important. But I have also observed in this cycle of campaigns that there's been a lot of encouragement and a lot of trying to marshal people to say, please come out and vote. It doesn't matter if you think your candidate has won, just come and vote. And people need to understand that it matters. There is a message you send, even if your candidate is already in the lead and you vote, there is still a message you send. Even if your candidate is losing and you have voted, there is a message you send. There is some reading in those statistics, in the figures, and it is good for the country that everybody votes. So yes, that tends to happen. Back on this issue, I also noticed some because I drove Butabika, Luzira, and there were some packed stations.
I can bet Lakeside was unattended.
Lakeside was
Comfortable and uncomfortable.
demarcated, and a few people there. I think enough to make 10. So I would assume they started on time.
And Mutungo was unattended.
There is one that I found, which was still setting up at past 7. It was still setting up, and the person in charge came late. All the constables were there, all the other, there were agents. I think there were also other, the lower, I don't know the title, electoral commission people, but the lower cadres. But the main person,
returning officer,
was late for that polling station. Okay. But he came in when I was there. I said, you know. And I was just really out of interest going through. And I was interested. There's one in Bugolobi here at as early as before 7, maybe 6:40. There was a station that was very well laid out, demarcated. There was only the constable and the official, the other official, nobody. But I was very impressed that they had set up already and everything was going on.
So the question I'm asking here is the fact that there is a political party that has put out a campaign there, a deliberate campaign of the last mile to make sure that people come to the polls, including assigning people responsibilities and documentation. Does that mean that...
deploying buses yesterday at the Constitution Square?
I can only speak about what I have proved. So does that mean that there is, an interest to push the number of Ugandans who turn up to vote higher than they have been?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, speaking for myself now, and for my party, we believe that we have much bigger support than is usually shown, except that people never really come to vote because they are always in this sense of, we are going to win it. And so they don't show up. And we're saying, no, please, you have not yet won anything. Until you put your ballot in the box, you cannot talk about winning. So you first put the ballot there, then we can start talking about winning when we are sure. So yes, we've been trying to push people to come out and say, please go and vote. And you have seen even the president, who also coincidentally is one of the candidates, telling people, no, go out and vote. Don't be intimidated. And in fact, at some point, he even stated, he said, it doesn't matter. If you believe in so and so, it's okay. But just go and vote. If you believe in another person, it's okay. But just go and vote. Okay. So I think it's everybody has been trying to say, let's come and vote. Okay. Let's come and vote. I think every candidate, notices that there is that relaxation about voting.
Prof, it's not them alone. There's been a new phenomenon. I think, speak from maybe the US. Now, candidates deliberately making phone calls. I don't know if you got any phone calls yourself asking for your vote. I think it's the National Unity Platform. Then I think many candidates picked it up. Do you think that is going to push the numbers up, the phone call, people calling and say, Professor Karija, I am Samson Kasumba, I am asking your vote to be news anchor?
It will have some effect. What we can't tell now is how much, but it will have some effect. And I've seen that, especially the two leading candidates, President Yoweri Museveni and Honorable Chagulanyi, have both rallied people to come and vote. I've also seen some of the statements, though they are being understood and interpreted differently, but the end state is participate in the voting process. I've heard about Kanonye, Kakume, something.
Kavanje.
Kavanje. But you see, you can't do that unless you participated.
Yes.
The question is how and what. But I think I'm glad that political parties and political candidates have also acknowledged the need and appreciation of their role to call people to vote. Initially, in the previous elections, there was always this tendency of saying, this is the work of the civil society, this is the work from the presidential candidates and the parliamentary candidates. Other than wooing people to vote for them, I think there has been also a separate message of encouraging people to go and vote, which I think is a good development. Because if people are saying protect the gains, and others are saying have a protest vote,